Hi, I'm Jim Meyer. I'm a retired pastor in the ELCA, the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America. In my collection of In Times Long Ago, I'd like to tell you now about the story entitled Growing Up Fast by James P. Meyer. This is Betty's story. At 13 years old, a party meant a whole lot. I was going to a party that night and was very excited. My dog Mitsy, whom I love very much, had been watching the birds all morning. He was a cute little dog with one buck eye and one wide eye. He'd watch very closely as the birds swooped down, and if they came too low, Mitsy ran after them. She'd show them whose backyard it really was. My party preparations were completed, and I sat on the porch watching Mitsy. A bird came swooping down, and Mitsy ran after it. He followed it into the front yard. I got up to chase behind to see the outcome, and saw Mitsy run right into the street and into a speeding car. I couldn't move. I just stood there screaming and couldn't move. My mother came running out and shouted something to me as she ran to the dog to get it out of the street. Mitsy was dead. I could hardly breathe or see through my tears. I couldn't go to the party, even if it was my own. Mitsy was dead, and my life was over. My father came home to bury the dog in the backyard, but I couldn't help him. I felt limp, drained, and too sorry for myself, crying, "Why? Why? Why?" My aunt stopped by our house in the afternoon and was dismayed at the state that she saw me in. She said, "Let's say a little prayer to God about Mitsy." After the prayer, she talked to me about how there are more important things in life than grieving and feeling sad, and that life goes on. She explained, if a person grieves in front of others, it makes them feel bad, and you only feel worse. She told me to go to the party and have fun. "Forget this," she said. "It is over." A real peace swept over me, and somehow her words helped me to understand. I did go to the party that night. This incident made a little girl do a lot of growing up that day. The end. I wonder if they felt Betty's dog Mitsy was one of the family. I wonder if Betty's heart was broken at the death of Mitsy. I wonder if it's okay to cry over our animal's death. I wonder if it is right to pray for animals. I wonder if animals do go to heaven. Our family room reflection. Take care that you do not despise one of these little ones, for I tell you, in heaven their angels continually see the face of my Father in heaven. What do you think? If a shepherd has has 100 sheep, and one of them has gone astray, does he not leave the 99 in the mountains and go in search of the one that went astray? And if he finds it, truly I tell you, he rejoices over it more than the other 99 that never went astray. So it is not the will of your Father in heaven that one of these little ones should be lost. From the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 18, verses 10 through 14. And now our recollections. Jesus compares the flock of sheep to the community of humans. He talks about knowing his sheep and they knowing him. Betty knew her dog, and Mitsy knew her, and they both gave affection to each other. Betty was overcome when Mitsy died. She cried and felt extreme loss, just as one who loves a loved one. Could Jesus, as the shepherd, allow one to be lost? For as he said, in heaven their angels continually see the face of my Father in heaven. The angel hasn't gone astray. and must be horrified that his human is lost. The father consoles and sends his son, the shepherd, to find the lost sheep. Betty's aunt consoled her and prayed for her and Mitsy, so Betty could rejoice that Mitsy was in good hands, the hands of the shepherd. Life does go on, and sometimes in an unpleasant way for the mourner of the lost one. But Betty was able to continue with the plans that were set up before. Jesus left the 99 sheep as their lives were going on and went to find the lost one. What is your story of grief and loss? Did you have to grow up quickly over the death of a loved one or a pet? Tell your story.